I work hard for the money, so hard for the money. I want something money, come on, give me lots of honey. Welcome everybody to a live episode of Savage Cash. Here with me, Suppoman. You gotta forgive me today because today I am not feeling my absolute best. I probably sound quite bunged up. Bunged up for me, which is incredible because even bunged up, my loudness cannot be stopped. Watch live now. Suppoman is live. How have I even got notifications on myself? Weird. So, today we are going to be covering some Bitcoin madness because in the last kind of 48 hours it has been madness. Madness. You know, we have seen Bitcoin Cash move to second place in the coin market cap. We've seen it overtake Ethereum. Very exciting times. Now, you know, I spoke the other day about Bitcoin Cash essentially getting pumped and pumped majorly in the Korean market, but it's turned into a much more major thing than it was back then. Back then it was a big pump. Now it's a movement. Now it's what's been classed as a flippening. So if you want to hear more about this, then smash up the likes. Leave a like spike if you're excited to hear about what has been happening in the market. And I'm sure a lot of you are already in the know about what's happening in the market because this is all over the place. This is all over every community that I am currently in, which is, you know, is Bitcoin Cash going to take over? You know, is Bitcoin Cash going to be the next Bitcoin? And there have been people that have been buying into this hype. You know, only yesterday, I put a tweet out where I said something while I was sniffling away. I said this: I made my feelings clear on the matter, which is essentially this. As much as I love altcoins, which if you've been following me a while on YouTube or even, you know, following on, you know, being in my courses, of which this is the most recent one, the cryptocurrency trading course, this is flying off the shelves right now. So if you're not in it, if you haven't yet got into it, then there's a link in the description. That's where you can get into it. But anyway, if you are a fan of me, if you have been watching me, I love my altcoins. This is where I think the Savage Cash is really there to be made on. But Bitcoin is king, in my opinion. Bitcoin's king. Now, I put something, maybe I was a little bit strong in my wording, but I put, I'm patient for all the mongs waiting for Bitcoin Cash to take over to be proved wrong soon. Now, this had a lot of support, had a lot of likes, had a lot of retweets, had some comments, had some people saying, Suppoman, I think you're wrong. I think that Bitcoin Cash is going to be #1. Now, essentially, Bitcoin Cash was forked to make Bitcoin run a lot better, to make it more scalable. Essentially, you can fit more transactions in the block. It was essentially meant to be a more efficient, more effective Bitcoin. Okay, an improvement, basically, on Bitcoin. And this was reflected when, on the 1st of August, when people that were holding Bitcoin got their Bitcoin Cash, and it absolutely soared. And people were saying, oh, you know, Bitcoin Cash is going to plummet as soon as the fork happens because people are going to just sell that good old free money. But what happened was it actually rose. And then it's taken ages for it to get back in the spotlight. Now, one of the people that is absolutely in the spotlight when it comes to Bitcoin Cash is this geezer here, Roger Ver, who probably will be watching, because he'll want to see what's Suppoman saying about Bitcoin Cash. So anyway, so he is the main man behind Bitcoin Cash, and he is a very strong personality that is and a massive evangelist in Bitcoin Cash. And of course, he has led this propaganda, I guess is the right word, this hype and propaganda about Bitcoin Cash being #1 and the Bitcoin actually not being #1 anymore. Now, this is something that I personally do not think is likely to be a reality, even though since I put that tweet, Bitcoin Cash actually rose to about $2,400. Okay, now this happened while I was asleep. I wasn't anywhere to be seen when this was happening. Okay, because as far as I'm concerned, my money's staying in Bitcoin. There's a lot of people that have made serious gains in Bitcoin Cash. You might be one of them. And especially if you bought down here when it was in the 300s. Over here it was, you know, under 300 for God's sake. So, you know, so basically, you know, there was a lot of cash to be made. Nearly 10 times gain. An absolutely unbelievable soaring. Look, 2,400. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. But, and look at the market cap today. 200 billion. Yes. It's looking very, very healthy. Now, let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash, okay? Let's have a look and see what markets have been driving this. And look, you can see right here, massive in Korea. Massive Korean currency being traded right now. So what that means is that this is price manipulation. Okay, some big, who knows, you know, some big players in the market, particularly in Korea, have really pumped this and given some legitimacy to this propaganda that Bitcoin Cash is all of a sudden going to be the main adopted cryptocurrency. And Bitcoin Cash is intended to be a currency like Bitcoin. So it's not a platform or anything like, you know, like Steam and like Bitcoins and those types of cryptocurrencies. No, this is an actual currency. So what they're saying is that this is going to be the one that, you know, if all of a sudden you can buy stuff with Bitcoin, like, so let's say my 10x card, I'm more likely to buy, you know, your normal everyday day-to-day stuff or whatever, a car or whatever, with Bitcoin Cash, because this is going to be a more scalable version, a better, quicker, faster version of Bitcoin. The transactions can go through much quicker. And so this is going to be the big one. But it's manipulation at its absolute best. Okay, this is market manipulation because then it gives some credibility to what people are saying. So do I think that Bitcoin Cash has a chance of being the widely adopted widely adopted currency? Personally speaking, I see that almost being an impossibility. Let's face it, Bitcoin has been around since the beginning. It's the original cryptocurrency. This is the one that everybody knows about. If you were to ask, you know, 100% of people who have heard of Bitcoin, but not heard of cryptocurrency necessarily. I mean, talking about the newbies. I'm talking about people not even in the game. People that don't really know what cryptocurrency is, don't know about trading or investing in cryptocurrency, but are people that are aware of the name Bitcoin. If you asked 100% of people, are you aware of Bitcoin Cash? 0% would say yes, right? Giving you an indication, really, of the likely adoption of Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin has got a hell of a lot of history in cryptocurrency. It is the cryptocurrency. It's the number one. It's the number one. Look. Can Bitcoin Cash take it over? Well, I think it's an impossibility. Now, as you know, I'm an altcoin guy. I like altcoins. So it doesn't really benefit me to be on the Bitcoin wagon. It doesn't really benefit. I mean, I'll hold some Bitcoin. I hold some Bitcoin Cash as well because I had some Bitcoin at the time that Bitcoin, you know, that Bitcoin was forked into Bitcoin Cash. So I got some Bitcoin Cash, but I don't really have a position either way. I'm not an evangelist of Bitcoin. If you've been watching me, you will know Bitcoin is not my number one love. But having said that, and therefore from that position, I can safely say, without bias, that Bitcoin's going to remain number one. And people who think otherwise, well, I can understand why you think otherwise. But, I mean, if you watch Data Dash's video, which I've seen, obviously, if you watch Data Dash's video, he shows the amount of transactions, okay, which ultimately shows evidence of adoption. He showed the amount of transactions of Bitcoin using Bitcoin Cash relative to Bitcoin, right? And it's virtually non-existent for Bitcoin Cash, leading to my personal opinion that it's unlikely, therefore, that if this is meant to be seen as the mainstream that takes over Bitcoin, there's no evidence of that right now. So why would you think it would happen? So guys, let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. And if you haven't, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. The B3, people are going on about B3. Bitcoin Cash has a takeover. It's just not going to happen. It really is very unlikely to happen. I mean, if you think about it, if somebody... Alright, think about this. If somebody was to ask you 3 days ago, do you think Bitcoin Cash is going to take over from Bitcoin? 99% of people would have said no. The 1% are the Bitcoin cashers, you know, the people in the community, the people that are 100% behind Bitcoin Cash and think it's the future. And those are the people, really, who would have been, you know, flying the flag for Bitcoin Cash. But most people would have said no Bitcoin. But with this huge market manipulation that has been taking place, leading to speculative people getting involved in Bitcoin Cash as well, now people are kind of changing their allegiance. So people that were only behind Bitcoin at first have now, because they've got a position in Bitcoin Cash, love Bitcoin Cash. It happens. People become fans of what they take a position on. They all of a sudden think, you know, I am happy to be in this gang now. I'm happy to be in the Bitcoin Cash army. I am going to shout from the rooftops, Bitcoin Cash is going to take over. But 3 days ago, they would never have said such a thing. And it's unlikely that in a week's time, that those people will still be around. And they will be back to talking about Bitcoin. But I mean, what happened is that, I mean, let's go and have a look. Now, if you watched my video the other day, if you watched my video on Friday, which was another big reveal, I took you through the Bitcoin's platform. I took you through how you can use the Bitcoin's platform in future, in your whole asset management tools. Okay, so this is basically a tool that you can use to do trading. You know, a lot of what I talk about in this trading course, my new trading course, a lot of what I talk about is covered with the tools in the Bitcoin's platform. Now, let's just have a quick look at what this tells us. Okay, so having a look on Bitcoins, and if you're not aware, if you've never heard of Bitcoins, you're like, what the hell is Bitcoins? Bitcoins is actually a tradable cryptocurrency as well. And it's my #1 cryptocurrency that at the moment is worth 97, nearly 98 cents. And comparative to all the other altcoins, has actually experienced quite a low drop. Anyway, so let's go back. So if we have a look using the tools, and I'm going to use my favorite personally, which is RSI. What this shows you was that the best time to buy, look at what you could have done, right? So if we look at RSI, the RSI level is about 70. If it exceeds 70, if this pink line exceeds 70, then that essentially means that a cryptocurrency has been overbought. Okay, there's been extremes in buying activity. And overbought is the time normally that traders sell a crypto. And as you can see, when it spiked over it, it then crashed. Okay, and was kind of like just wavering around because of the lack of SegWit2x, because that was called off. Okay, so people weren't going to be getting their free cryptos. So if you had have sold up here, you could have then bought back down here when it was oversold, really on the position, really because people were taking probably a position on Bitcoin Cash. People were taking, you know, some of their money out of Bitcoin. Now, I don't know how brave people were feeling. Some people probably took more money out of Bitcoin than they should have. Taking their money out of Bitcoin and reinvesting it into Bitcoin Cash. Now, let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash. This has been a trader's paradise the past couple of days. It's been an absolute paradise because look, if you bought all the way down here when it was nearly sold, which was what day? 8th of November. If you'd have bought at that point, look at the insane gains you would have made at this point when it was overbought. In fact, it went from oversold to overbought in, you know what, 2 days? 2 days it did that. And then, but this is just based on price movement, not based on the price itself. Okay, this is price movement. Okay, so buying down here at probably one of the best dips in the last few weeks, you could have bought at 594 and then sold up here, which was, you know, 2,000. I don't think the intelligence is 100% right here because it went to over $2,000. But look at that. That is basically 5 times gain. Unbelievable. So this is an exceptional tool to help you with trading. And so, of course, lots of people have made gargantuan sums of money with Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so I can understand why people are very loyal to Bitcoin Cash right now and people are loving it. But I do see that this is just going to have its lifespan. It's going to have its time, you know, like Chainlink and like Walton and a load of hyped coins in recent times that have had their time in the sun. They had their time in the spotlight. Everybody's behind it. Everybody's like, oh, this is never going to go down again. That's what's happening right now. People have kind of temporarily switched allegiance without knowing why, except for the fact that they've made insane gains and there's a lot of propaganda. These people are eventually going to be silenced like they get normally. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to plummet down to $500, $400 again and stay there. I think that this is just like what happened to Neo. This has given I suppose it's given the awareness finally that this is a big deal. All of a sudden, people are thinking, well, didn't really know what Bitcoin Cash was before. I kind of read up about it around about the fork time in August. Didn't really know what it was before. Now I do now, because there's been a lot of publicity. A lot of publicity. A lot of it thanks to this geezer here, Roger Ver. It's given it a lot of publicity. And so people are now thinking, right, this is a big deal. So this is likely to pull back. Likely to pull back. It already has pulled back. It went to a very intense high of 2,400. It's been pulled back. And now it's at 1,600. I imagine there's going to be another pullback eventually. Okay, so that again, this is my personal opinion. This isn't investment advice. This isn't for you to think, oh, you know what, I'm going to get at the dip and make another insignificant amount of money because I missed out. It's personal opinion at the end of the day. So, you know, so this is what I imagine is going to happen. This is going to pull right back again, and it's going to be higher, worth more than it was before because it's now a bigger deal. And people are probably going to leave their money vested in Bitcoin Cash. A lot of people that have taken a position for the long term are going to stay invested in Bitcoin Cash and give it a support level. It's likely that if Ethereum doesn't make bigger gains in its marketing and in its technological advances, Bitcoin Cash will be number 2, but won't ever be number 1. Personal opinion. So let's see what you guys are saying. Lots of B3 stuff going on here. Abbas Sharif. What's Abbas Sharif asked? Can you answer my question? Can't really see what your question is, mate. I apologise. Burn all the Lambos. Let's have a look at B3. There's so many people talking about it. There is something else I wanted to talk about. B3's gone down to a significant low. I think most cryptocurrencies have gone down to a significant low. This had a massive price spike the other day. This isn't it. Had a massive price spike. This was when the coin supply was a lot lower. Had a price spike the other day at this time of Segwit 2x and has now gone and lost probably about 2/3 of it. So B3 are going to be launching masternodes soon. So there's a lot of people, and the community staking has been nothing short of phenomenal. I've now got 8 million coins thanks to staking it. So that is quite insane. Anyway, let's leave B3 for now. So there is another bit of news. There's another bit of news, which is this. So Bitcoin Gold is going to be launching today. Is it today? Today is the 12th, isn't it? I'm losing track of days here. So what happens when you're ill? It's not you're not 100% with it. So anyway, so Bitcoin Gold will finally launch today. Now it's going to launch at 7 PM UTC, which I don't know how UTC compares to the British time, but it's obviously tonight. This is going to happen in British time. So anyway, so Bitcoin Gold's coming. So Bitcoin Gold, I think, has lost a lot of its lost a lot of its hype. A lot of the hype really came out when during the time of the fork. But this is going up in, I believe, in anticipation. This has gone up kind of incrementally over time. Obviously, it's gone up and then dipped. But it was at about $100 like about a week ago. And this has gone up because now it's become more relevant. Because what's going to happen is people who have their, particularly people who have their Bitcoin in a ledger like I do, they're gonna get the free Bitcoin Gold at last, because Bitcoin Gold are have added their replay protection now. So the risk will be lost. Okay, the risk is going. So that means that from tomorrow, Ledger is adding support. This is going to be added to your Ledger wallet. So I don't necessarily know what the price will be. I'm imagining that this is going to spike and then possibly sell before people get it in their ledger, personally speaking. Because I think a lot of people are just going to want to dump the hell out of it. And if you don't remember what Bitcoin Gold is, again, this is another fork of Bitcoin that was essentially changing the algorithm. So changing it to GPU mining, basically. So therefore, making it more of a decentralized Bitcoin than current Bitcoin, which is kind of monopolized by ASICs miners, while the mining element is. Whereas Bitcoin Gold was intended to bring mining back to the everyman and not be so expensive and not have to get these ASIC mining, hardware bits. So let's see what you guys are saying. What is your opinion about the beat? I don't really know. I'm not close to Bitcoin, so I can't really give much of an opinion on it. All I can really give much of an opinion on is what I can give much of an opinion on is just my personal opinion, which, is a good personal opinion. Guys, give me some questions. So let's so in the absence of any decent questions being asked, I like it when I get good questions from the community, guys. Stop B3ing it, because it's getting a bit annoying. So what's this done? This has essentially rendered a lot of the altcoins. What's happening with Bitcoin is essentially laser beaming. It's like putting a lot of the attention just on Bitcoin right now. And what's happened is that a lot of what came out of the SegWit 2x being cancelled, which was that altcoins largely went up, is that now they're kind of going down. People are taking a position on Bitcoin Cash. Look at BitConnect. That has just absolutely tanked. Absolutely tanked has BitConnect. Steam is looking great for getting some Steam power right now. Komodo's gone down to $2. That's like an all-time low. Actually, let's have a look and see what the lowest is. Let's go. Let's consult my Bitcoins. Mobile Go is the biggest loser. The biggest gainer now is iExec RLC. So it's not even Bitcoin Cash right now. Interesting. So I don't know what this iExec is. Very interesting. Kyber's gone up slightly. Well, it's not gone down, but I mean, it went up slightly from under $1 where it was, which is good. Look at Electroneum. Again, it continues to absolutely plummet. Now, this is just absolutely indicative of cryptocurrency, okay? During ICO, you will see a hive of activity and a hive of hype building from the community, where they are all in on a cryptocurrency and they say, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire with this cryptocurrency. And so Electroneum was one of the most hyped cryptocurrencies in recent times. And people were saying about this decimal place bullcrap, which was just marketing excellence on the behalf of Electroneum. And so people were saying, oh, this it's going to be more valuable than Bitcoin, like knobheads, basically. A load of knobheads who I haven't heard from since. And that marketing effort essentially made Electroneum one of the hot ICOs. And now it's just been dumped and left for dead. It's just dead. Okay, this was at 11 cents and incrementally has gone down now to 2.5 cents. Okay, and will plummet and continue to plummet more. A lot of the reason is because of the future max supply and the current circulating supply, which puts this above high supply coins already, like EOS. So this is just going to continue to plummet. So poor Electronium, and I hope a lot of the people that got out, well, that invested and got bonus coins did get out. Metaverse has gone down to under $3. That's awesome, because if you were thinking you missed the boat on Metaverse, then now you can kind of get back on the boat. That ship is being recovered. Civic has just been it's just kind of been stale for the last few months. Status as well. So, basically, Bitcoin's going up. Raiden, I'm looking to speak about Raiden soon. So, I held a poll in my mastermind group who pretty much said, Raiden, I want Raiden. Give me Raiden. They're also saying Substratum, but I'm not doing Substratum. There's iExec. Look at that. Did you buy? Whoa! Nearly at 0.7 of a cent. Check that out. Look at Qcoin. Qcoin's gone right down. Qcoin was the price it was weeks ago. Qcoin, when I remember first being told about Qcoin, it was 55 cents or so. And if you look at its most major dip at the beginning of November. So I got told about Qcoin before November, and it spiked up, went back down and to the 50s, mid 50 cents area. And now and then it went up again, and now it's gone right back down to 50 cents, 56 cents. So if you wanted to take a position of Qcoin, Qcoin is related to the Qcoin exchange. So Qcoin is a good one. It's a bit kind of in the COS area. You're supposed to be getting rewards. I'm not invested in Qcoin. So, but I do plan on bringing out a video about that. Power Ledger has really tanked. This has really gone down. Buy Qcoin, Suppo. I may yet do. So Power Ledger's gone right down. This is one of the newer ones, but look at the volume. Look at the volume. People obviously had quite a position. So I think Power Ledger will thrive again once we're out of this Bitcoin paraphernalia stage. So what we're seeing right now is some stabilization. 6,200 area for Bitcoin, 1,600 area for Bitcoin Cash. So it's kind of stabilized. Smash up the likes, peeps. Smash up the likes in appreciation for me coming live on a Sunday and also with the sniffles. I apologise about the sniffles. It's not ideal. But I felt like I needed to come on and say something about the Bitcoin madness because it's just been absolutely insane. And I think that it's so easy in cryptocurrency to be swept up. So easy in cryptocurrency to be swept up in this feeling that all of a sudden, something is pumping and you're going to help it get to the moon or whatever. When Lambo, when moon, when whatever, when number one. That's what people have gotten behind. But we are seeing the signs. There may not be the strongest signs right now, but the initial kind of let's get behind it, I think, is tampering down as people now come to the realization that it is a bit stupid to think this is going to be the number one coin. It's a bit like, let's say McDonald's creates a service that makes it even more faster and more efficient than it is. Let's say they call it MacD's Extra or something like that, right? You can get your food faster. Right? But it's new. They've only got a few branches around the country. Doesn't have the name yet. It doesn't have the recognition yet. Okay? What are the chances of that being number one in the long term? What are the chances of McDonald's Extra being a bigger name than McDonald's itself? No chance. Okay? McDonald's still has the brand name, the brand loyalty, the history, the trust, it's got the community ultimately. Most of the world go to it. And McDonald's Extra, if it was run by other people, and it had dissimilarities that made it, although it had the name, made it a different feel, a different look and feel to McDonald's, people would not suddenly go from McDonald's to McDonald's Extra and take that to number one. It's just not likely when you've got a name as big as McDonald's. If you had something that was much less in brand name, so let's say Dash, for instance, or Neo, or IOTA, or Omisco, right? They don't have the history. They don't have, 8 years of history. They don't have 8 years of investment, people holding huge amounts in it over such a long space of time, seeing that going up over time and all that, and essentially trusting Bitcoin. You're never going to have another brand overtaking it. That could happen with a smaller brand because it doesn't have the history, but Bitcoin has the history. It just is not going to happen. So hopefully people will start understanding that and not think that it's going to be the next big thing, because it isn't. It's never going to overtake. It's never going to be more valuable. Okay, no matter what people are saying, and I don't care who disagrees with me and how experienced they are, it's just it's extremely, extremely unlikely. So there we are, that's my 10 cents of it. Or should I say my 10 sats of it. I work hard for the money. Let's see what people are saying. Cardano will be big. Cardano is not something I necessarily have a lot of high hopes for. It's got a good name behind it, but then so have a lot of cryptocurrency. You've got big names behind it. The former CEO of Ethereum is at Cardano. He's the guy behind the Cardano project. And this has a lot of volume, but it goes up, doesn't go up really. It goes up like 0.5 cent every now and again. It's not going to be that big. So guys, it really isn't. Unless they do a token ban and get rid of 80% of their entire tokens, then you've got a chance. Trig. What's to talk about with Trig? Trig is just a non-coin, really. Trig was worth about $2 at one point, I remember, when this was piped during the token burn. It's a no coin. This has maybe got some future when it comes to, I mean, at the end of the day, the infrastructure is being built. The infrastructure at the moment is being built in cryptocurrency to enable industries to take advantage of blockchain technology, and Trig is going to be one for the gun industry, maybe armed forces and all that, or government forces and all that kind of thing. But this is one for a long-term buy and hold, but I'm not really behind Trig. What are my top 3 undervalued buys? Okay, so let's have a look. Let's go back and have a look. So what constitutes undervalued? When I say undervalued, I'm talking about long term. I'm not talking about short term, because they could be cryptocurrencies that are maybe oversold because they're just entering in the market, but they may not, but they're still undervalued based on where they will be in the long term. So what are my top 3 undervalued coins? Well, I would say that at number 3, I would say number 2 or number 3, I would say InvestFeed, definitely InvestFeed. They are going to be launching very shortly their monetization, which is going to make it very comparable to Steam. It's going to make it very sticky, which means that this is going to get more adoption, like Facebook style-y kind of adoption, because lots of people like social networking, but at the moment, if you social network on Facebook and all that, you can't get paid jack for it, okay? But you will be able to with InvestFeed. Now, this is going to lead to people kind of inviting their friends and inviting their family. Guys, come on InvestFeed. You can earn free cryptocurrency. And so this is going to get bigger adoption, which is going to render 4 cents absolutely ridiculous eventually in time. Okay, but at the moment, people might not see it. But look at that circulating supply. This can go up hugely. And it's not having a lot of volume. But they are announcing it soon. So I think InvestFeed definitely is one of the most undervalued cryptocurrencies right now. 10x is another undervalued cryptocurrency. 10x really changes the game for me personally, because as far as I'm concerned, this is how you can cash out your crypto without... Right now, before Bitcoins comes, and Bitcoins is going to make it a lot easier to cash out. At the moment, the fiat gateway on Coinbase, which is the main fiat gateway when you buy Bitcoin with fiat currency, the moment the Transaction fees are stupid. You don't even want to cash out because you know you're going to have a ridiculously extortionate amount taken off you in transaction fees when you cash out. I mean, I've done it and I've been pissed off by it. When Bitcoin comes out, that's going to make it a lot nicer and easier, and Coinbase are essentially going to be destroyed. And it's going to be a great big to Coinbase, basically. But 10x is like the alternative. This is the alternative cash out for fiat. Okay, so this is how you can put your crypto. I've got quite a lot of crypto in my 10x card. You can essentially just buy anything as long as you can just insert it into one of those card reading machines and then type in a PIN. You can pay for anything. 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 And the rewards are going to be coming in time, and the ability to pay with other cryptocurrencies is coming in time. At the moment on 10x, and why this is so low in value is because not a lot has happened since it kind of came out. When it kind of came out, it got overbought. And the reason it got overbought is because this was just making waves. People were getting their 10x cards, their debit cards. It was being shipped. And then all of a sudden, although Julian has been coming live and he's been keeping the community up to date and all that good stuff, subsequently, not a lot has driven the value up. And they haven't really added any more. I'm not necessarily sure the rewards are working at the moment because I haven't received anything. And also, they're only accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dash as methods of payment right now that you can convert. Basically, if you pay for, let's just say, let's just use an example. You go and you buy bread at the corner store, okay? You can buy it with a 10x card using Bitcoin. But you can only use Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dash. You will be eventually able to use the other currencies, but that's coming in time. So at the moment, 10x is obscenely undervalued. So this is going to, and at 156, this is an insane value to buy 10x at. But this is a long-term buy and hold because, again, it's going to rely on incremental bits of market news to bring it up another league and another league and another league. This is bad news for people who bought at $6 and are holding because they bought it at the peak. And really, the best time is to buy at the dip. So this is a great time to buy 10x. This is a huge dip since its peak up to $6. And then my number one is Bitcoin. And I've just shown you essentially why this is number one. Because this is going to be essentially the tool for all traders and investors. Okay, it's going to be it's going to have everything from beginning to end. You can buy fiat, you can buy cryptocurrency with fiat. So that's your entry. You can then you will then be able to do atomic swap. So you can turn so if you buy a cryptocurrency and you want to swap it for another one, that will be enabled. So you won't need an exchange. So you can basically have whatever crypto you want at any given time. And then you are going to be able to trade it using the tool I've just taken you through. This tool, which essentially, you know, the this tool here. If I just show you, let's just show you Bitcoin Cash as an example. Okay, so what you've got here, you're going to have. Let's just take this indicator off. This is what you're going to have as a blank canvas. Okay, and this is what you can see on like CoinMarketCap, for instance. What CoinMarketCap doesn't have, or Coinbase, or any of the current wallet places, they don't have the ability to do technical analysis. So what you can do is you can change this view from just a line to candles, to bars, to hollow candles. It all depends on what your kind of preference is, because some people may use candles, some people may use lines, some people may use areas, okay? Whatever, you can actually display it how you want to. A lot of people use candles. And then you've got the indicators, and you've got the main ones. The main ones I use are moving average, MACDs, Bollinger Bands, RSI. Those are the ones that I mainly use, and those are the ones that are covered here, because these are the best indicators that are around. And you can essentially plot it on top of the graph, and you can add them and overlay them. You can have loads going through at the same time. Look at this. You know, this is absolutely brilliant. So this is going to be a great trading tool. It's going to be a great investing tool as well, because you can see you can get involved in a cryptocurrency at significant dips. And then finally, you're going to be able to cash out. So this is going to be the best solution for traders and investors. This is going to be a unilateral platform. This is going to be the one-stop shop. This is what COS could never do. COS just have not got what it takes. What's behind Bitcoins is probably the most amazing team I have ever laid eyes on. So there we are. So that's why I think Bitcoins is the most undervalued. And I spotted, and when I invested in it and I went all in on this, I didn't even know half of this at the time. They have just been incrementally making this a better platform, and this will continue over time. Anyway, so yes, and at the moment it's under $1, so it's in the cents right now. So that's just stupid. Let's have a look and see what else you guys are saying, because I'm going to be going off soon and getting myself some Lemsip and resting. What are you guys saying? Smash the likes up, by the way, guys. Smash the likes up if you're watching. If you're live and you haven't yet smashed the likes up, smash the likes up. 1K people watching. You lovely people. You lovely people. Also subscribe if you haven't already. But smash the likes. I'm going to do it right now. Smash it up. Currently only a quarter of people have actually liked it. So, you know, there's a lot of space for more likeage. Suppoman, are you Capricorn? I am. What makes you say such a thing? Masternodes Pro. I don't believe that's really you. Masternodes Pro. If you want to actually learn about masternodes, this is probably one of the better sites where you can see what your payouts would be. Where I see cryptocurrency going is a lot like kind of stocks and shares, how they have been. You've got stocks and shares, which you just hold. You buy it at a low price, you hold it, and that's literally it. Then you've also got the stocks and shares that give you dividends. And so Masternodes.pro is a really good place to actually see the dividends you're likely to get from a cryptocurrency. But what I do think is that a lot of these ROIs are not correct. Okay, I said a couple of months ago we had Neutron. It was up there. It was all of a sudden, you know, loads of people became Masternode holders as a result of that video, and it actually turned out that the RSI was the return on investment was low. So let's see what else you guys are saying. What are you guys fancying? What do you guys think? Let's just have a quick straw poll. Let's just have a quick straw poll. What are you guys thinking is going to be the actual number one? Come on. Let's just put our cards on the table. Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash? Smash in the comments right now. What do you think is going to be the number one? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Somebody says OMG will rise in December, but there is likely to be another Bitcoin fork in December, so I'm not sure about that. BTC, there is a Bitcoin BTC. Wow. Wow. There are a lot of people saying Bitcoin Cash. I would say it's kind of 90% Bitcoin, but I can't believe some people are actually, even in spite of this live stream, are actually coming up and saying Bitcoin Cash. I mean, it just goes to show that propaganda in cryptocurrency works, because it's such an early stage, you know, industry that is easily manipulated, and so that really is the long and short of it. Bitcoin Cash is under 1600 now, so hang on to your seats, peeps. But most people are saying Bitcoin. And I think that US dollar, wow. Did somebody really just say US dollar? I do not think so. That is the most ridiculous, ridiculous shout I've ever seen. Yes, it is. It is a P&D, really. It is, because it's market manipulation, ultimately. Suppoman, which is better, InvestFeed versus Steam? At the current rate, Steam. Because Steam not only have monetized blogs, but they've also got their version of YouTube, which I love, by the way. Let's just get that up. Okay, so DTube, if it loads up, sometimes it has been quite what's the word I'm looking for? It has been quite what's the word? It's being ill takes words out of my head. It has been, let's just say it's been inconsistent with loading up. But anyway, $95 I got paid for my video the other day, another big reveal. $95 when I put this on DTube. Now, I would have needed a hell of a lot of people watching my video on YouTube to get the equivalent amount. And I got $95 basically in hours of having it on DTube. So DTube is where I see really where Steam is going to have the future, because it's got video social networking, which is arguably the best media in social network. So they got blogs, they've got video, they've got audio. At the moment, InvestFeed, they have microblogging, which consists of, at the moment, you can put pictures. But you can't put video right now. And you can't put audio. So right now, I think that Steam is arguably 10 times better than Steam. But InvestFeed, if they become like Facebook, where they've got pretty much all media on there, they could compare. But the thing about Steam is that with the platform the way it is, and with the community the way that it is, and with their smart media tokens as well, there's going to be more adoption of Steam platforms. Okay, there's going to be more adoption of the Steemit, the whole Steemit token thingy-majiggy. So the likelihood is that Steam is going to stay ahead of InvestFeed for quite a while, but the deflationary token is going to keep it kind of relatively stable. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I do like questions like that. Thank you very much. B3, the one true Bitcoin. Oh, right. You sent me an InvestFeed message. That's another thing you can do. You can send messages on InvestFeed, which you can't do on Steam. Well, certainly not to my knowledge. Somebody's saying Lifecoin. Has Lifecoin actually been... Yeah, is this Lifecoin? The Lifecoin. So Lifecoin has had quite a lot of people in my community have been speaking about Lifecoin. But look at that supply. This is the circulating supply. This is the total supply. Any moron that says supply doesn't matter is a complete spaz, in my opinion. People say, oh, it's all market cap. It's not fucking market cap. Market cap is the value of the cryptocurrency. So it's valued against everything else. But really, what can stop insane gains is circulating supply. You know, look, I mean, it just drops because there's a lack of volume. So, you know, coin supply means a lot. But this is a charity cryptocurrency. And I like where this is potentially going. Anyway, guys, how long have I been live? I think I've been live for a little bit now. Thank you all for watching. I'm quite, you know, I'm quite pleased many came to watch me ill, suffering. But, you know, that's what one has to do when one, you know, when one is in the cryptocurrency game. So, guys, smash up the likes if you haven't already. And when this becomes a video, in the comments, let me know what cryptocurrencies you'd like me to cover, because I'm looking to cover more cryptos in the near future. But let's just talk about the main, let's just summarize today the main points. Okay, so the main points are that there's been a big battle between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cashers who will be #1. Because there's a big camp of people led by this guy, Roger Ver, who's the king, really, of, at the moment, of evangelism. Because he has created a massive movement of Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin. And people are deluded enough that they actually think it could take over Bitcoin. So anyway, so this is the big battle happening right now. And I just put some context that I don't think Bitcoin Cash has the slightest chance of becoming king. Bitcoin will be king. This is just a temporary spike, but this has put people's attention to Bitcoin Cash and what it does, and people, and this, I think this is going to have a good long-term impact on. It's going to have a good long-term impact on the support level, because there's going to be a lot of people that didn't get in on Bitcoin, wish they'd got in on Bitcoin, and now are going to kind of try and make Bitcoin Cash work and get insane gains out of that. And I do think there will probably come a time when Bitcoin Cash is the same value of Bitcoin. But by that time, I think Bitcoin is going to be worth more than it is now. And then also we have got Bitcoin Cash, which is going to be launched tonight. And people are going to finally start receiving their Bitcoin Gold. Did I say Bitcoin Cash? Bitcoin Gold is launching tonight. And at the moment, that is $347. So people who are probably going to sell this because the hype's died down and there are a lot of people that don't really give a toss about Bitcoin Gold. And there's also a camp of people who didn't get in on either Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, who are now going into Bitcoin Gold thinking that one day Bitcoin Gold is going to have a very, very similar profile that Bitcoin Cash has just had. Bitcoin Cash has just been put in the limelight. People are hyping about it. Probably likely to have Bitcoin Gold in the future, so people are taking a long-term position right down here and holding it for the long term for when that happens, in which case there will be insane gains to be made when that happens. So guys, thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Savage Cash, this live episode of Savage Illness. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. It's currently about 3 degrees in the UK, so I think I'm going to leave the pub because it's just too cold. Too cold, and this is how I've got... Going to the pub has caused this cold, so, you know, get well Suppoman comments are gratefully received. Also, guys, if you haven't yet followed me on Twitter, then follow me on Twitter, because my Twitter is probably as entertaining as YouTube. I mean, look at the question I put literally, what, 9 hours ago. Ladies in crypto, who has the sex appeal? And I put me, Crypto Daily, Data Dash, and obviously the irresistible Trevon James. And Trevon James is actually at 15%. I thought a lot of people would love him, particularly people who have been made rich via BitConnect, loving a bit of Trevon James. Data Dash, the foppy-haired... He looks English, actually, because he's got the foppy hair, the Hugh Grant look. He's at 28%, but there I am, right at the top. So, guys, follow me on Twitter for more fun stuff. I do occasionally talk about cryptocurrency, so, you know, don't think that I'm completely off topic. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Savage Cash. Not Bitcoin Cash, but Savage Cash. And I will see you in the next one. It is lights out or out.